Thanks, Jeff, for joining me today. I guess to start off with, can you tell us a little bit about how you're currently using CPQ at JWC?
Okay, so we've been a CPQ customer since 2016. We were one of the really early adopters of CPQ after it was presented for the first time at the Louisiana conference. We configure engineer to order products, so it's non-repetitive and it's not highly configurable, but pretty configurable products. We're not doing any 2D or 3D modeling with it. It's just the configuration and the creation of BOMs, specifications, things like that. We do costing outside of CPQ. Some products we do pricing with inside of CPQ. And let's see, we have 7 major product families with maybe about 20 different models within each of those product families. So a good number of products with some significant configurability. We are currently on-prem and in the final stages of migrating to cloud. So probably by the end of the month, we'll be on the cloud.
Okay. Makes sense.
And when I say we're moving to cloud, we'll have CPQ on cloud, and then later this year we will be working on the migration of Sales Portal to Enterprise Quoting on cloud as well.
Yep.
And then once you're up on the cloud, you have Enterprise Quoting, you have all of the Ion capabilities, the Mingle capabilities, all of the API plugins. There is so much flexibility and product offering that comes along with the cloud suite that I can't see. I guess if you're a business that is just your ERP system and you don't have any other platforms that you use, the only thing you use is Visual, or the only thing you use is Sightline or something like that, then okay. But that's really rare in today's business. You have HR systems, you have CRM systems, you've got labor collection systems. You might be a larger business that has multiple acquisitions and you've got multiple ERP systems that you have to connect to, or multiple database versions of Visual, or multiple sites that are in different databases. When you end up on that cloud suite and you have all of the Ion capabilities, moving data back and forth between those systems becomes so much easier because you have a built-in middleware that has hooks into every Infor product, and API is available for virtually all of the major players in the marketplace when it comes to any business application. CRM, Salesforce, you've got Microsoft Dynamics, Tableau, all of the different platforms. You've got hooks and native hooks built into that you can connect to. It's a product configurator on steroids.
Right. Jeff, what would you say, as a visual user, what would you say are the key benefits of that Visual and CPQ integration that would, stand out and be talking points to other visual users?
Man, just the base concept of being able to configure a product that might be complex. And I think anybody who you'll talk to that's working with an ERP system, and again, I'm going to go back to companies trying to cut costs, because that's what everybody's trying to do and has always tried to do. So whether you like it or not, typically the people that are doing your order entry or your quoting may not necessarily be the most technical. So when you can have them select from the configuration using human readable questions that don't necessarily need to be technical in nature, but they have technical capabilities on the back end that, what's a good example of that? Like we have motors on some of our products. And you'll see the scope will come from the customer or the purchase order that we receive, and it will have your motor horsepower and the voltage at the site. You'll have service factors and like the phase and hertz and things like that. That information will be called out in the specification that will come to us. But then trying to identify, like expecting that user that's keying that information into the product configurator to know all of the different part numbers for all of the different motor vendors. That's a technical step that's probably a little bit too far for some of the people who
Mhm.
are doing just standard order entry or quote entry. And being able to insulate them from that allows for a couple different things. One, you don't need to have as technical a person doing the order entry process. And this may not be true for every customer, but
Right.
you can kind of look at it as a rule of thumb. Then the second being, if you do have turnover, you can get a new employee up to speed more quickly because you're not having to teach them deeply technical things as far as how to build out that product.
Mhm.
The next piece is if you tie in your R&D and your engineering team into that process, when ECNs come out, you can quickly get those ECNs implemented into the product configurator, which then reduces scrap and rework and design errors and shop floor problems and things like that. So having a product configurator in place can really, not just from the ease of getting something into the system, but also the accuracy that you can rely on then. Using CPQ allowed us to stop having to check the BOM for every single job that we were building. Now we've established stability there, and we have a good cadence with the engineering team when it comes to ECNs that come through. And that user community, not just the order entry individuals, but the shop floor. They know if it has gone through the product configurator, they don't have to worry about them building the
Right.
wrong thing. I don't know if, I haven't done any exploration on what else is out there on the market, but having a single source vendor for both the product configurator and for your ERP system is another key thing, because then you're talking dev teams that are working with each other and cross-functional. And you're not looking at if Visual has a version rollout, uh, is that compatible with this version of this product configurator that's coming from another customer? And you've got all this version control issue stuff that you've got to do. I can't upgrade Visual because I have to worry about X, Y, and Z for this other vendor that provided a product configurator. So having all that
Yeah.
stuff from the same vendor really has a big impact. And like I said, on the cloud suite, you start getting into all of the other capabilities that are Infor native and make it easy to move data back and forth between different Infor products. So there's a real benefit there as well.